Jamie and Claire have come back to Lollybrook. As they start to settle into this, they have a man come into the house with a gun and pointing at Jamie. Claire witnesses this. Jenny steps in and makes light of the situation by saying, this is a relative, a cousin. One of the reasons that we love Outlander so much is because it's in a different time and things were so much more simple then. This was a place that was built out of a lot of stone in order to protect the family from any sort of danger. Family also was critical, and through the generations, people depended on one another. In today's society, because of airline travel and a lot of other forms of travel, families have been separated. There are a lot of aging parents that are far away from their children, and it causes a lot of anxiety in their vulnerability. And that dependence on one another is really missing and causing a lot of people to feel alone. Jamie gets angry and says, "Why are you letting these people into our home?" And what is explained is that it has been necessary to have the watch to protect them. Jamie hasn't been seeing this because he hasn't been home. Jenny's safety is compromised because Ian is suffering a disability. And there is camaraderie because they fought in a similar war in France. And Jamie too. When you've been in the trenches with someone and you've had to fight through to get to the other end and you survived, you realize that it's your friends that you have to depend on because your life is at stake. Today, our relationships may not have that quality inherent in them. And so they can become a lot more disposable, unfortunately. Jamie clarifies that the watch is doing something that's protective, but on the other hand, it's criminal. When Jenny finds the carved snake with S1E on it, this is a message in a way from the past, their childhood. I think we have several different types of lives, not in reincarnation, but lives where we're children, we're adolescent, we're young adults, we become parents ourselves, we are then a grandparent. And these stages are things that teach us. They're things that inspire wisdom and hope. A hope that everything is going to be okay. And so this is a difficult time right now with these invaders in the house. And to see this little present from his brother who's no longer here, a little message of love. Jamie has a conversation with Horrocks and gives him the money. And he wants more. He's given all that he has to give. Jamie understands that he will never keep silent. He can't trust him at all. There's no winning with Horrocks, that it's a bottomless pit, that his desire for money and wealth is ruling his heart. And Ian stabs him from behind. And Jamie is just shocked because he didn't think that he had anybody watching his back. But Ian wanted to be there because that is the way that they behaved before the disability. A disabling event can make one feel like they're half a person. And within themselves, they are not wanting pity. Ian says that on several occasions. And one of the reasons that he likes the man who's in charge of the watch is because he doesn't treat him any differently. He is respectful and he includes him, and he sees that Ian has a lot to contribute. The men are discussing their next journey, and Jenny is screaming. The baby is coming. Jesus says that the reason that a woman has pain in childbirth is because her time has come. And I think we all have a time that comes to us throughout our lives where we have intense suffering and intense pain. But like childbirth, there is joy on the other side. There's a joy because not only do we have this beautiful child who brings us so much love, it's that we also see that the anguish brought us somewhere. And sometimes pain is the only way for us to learn what we must. Jamie and Claire have a really beautiful conversation. And it is centered on the fact that Claire believes that she can't have children. And this is hard for Jamie to receive, but you can see that he goes to a place that is godly. And in that place of wanting to do right, he says to her that it's okay, it's probably better this way. Because one, she won't suffer the pain of childbirth. And he also says, I could lose you. And I find this so beautiful because it can feel really horrible for women who can't have children for a number of reasons. But I do think that one of the reasons is because they feel like they're letting down their husband. And so for Jamie to give words to why it's better gives us words as well. Because sometimes we can think that marriage and motherhood are critical to happiness on this earth. And sometimes God has a purpose. And that purpose could just be because Claire is called to be a physician, ultimately, down the road. But maybe it's just for that particular season. And we never really know the full story. As much as we want to know the story, it's a much better adventure to stay present, not dwelling on the past or dwelling on the future, but staying centered for what is. Jamie goes off with the watch, and McQuarrie says that he would never allow for Jamie to get in the hands of the Redcoats. And this says a lot to Jamie because he understands that people could make money from him if they were to turn him in. And this would be horrible for Jamie, but it would be financial gain for someone else. He knows that he has a friend in him. And this is very important because Horrocks, even in his death, has left them with some evil plan, which is to have the watch be ambushed by the Redcoats. Jamie's been taken. And this is devastating for Claire. There was a really important part that was said by Ian, which is Jamie is with McQuarrie because he was not going to leave him alone because he was wounded. That says something about friendship. Friendship, true friendship, is not perfect, number one. Number two, there can be a lot of mistakes that happen along the way, and there can be misunderstanding, and there can be several reasons to end a friendship. However, we are called to continue to pursue a friendship until it's clear. Horrocks, that was clear. Continual abuse and harm, yes. However, if there is hope in a relationship, we are called to seek mending it. We are called to ask questions to find out a person's integrity. And then, like Jamie, once that becomes clear, anything is possible.